and welcome to Football Twaddle. My name is Taru. We are in a very, very weird space where there is World Cup around the corner and we don't feel like watching football. So, to help understand how to think about what has happened during the past week, I have my friend Yash with me. Yash, what's up?
What's up, buddy?
Did you watch any matches, Yash, on the weekend, or are you also fatigued like me?
I tried to watch a few games. I definitely watched much lesser football than I usually do because the World Cup is so close by that we are almost in World Cup fever. So we are much more focused on national teams, I guess.
Talking about national teams, just before we recording this, Gareth Southgate supposedly announced his squad or
Mhm.
his provisional squad for the World Cup or whatever. All the
Right.
Serie A players are missing.
Yeah, I think this is a punishment to the English players playing in the Serie A because Italy beat England in the finals of the Euros. So yeah, so good players like Tomori and Tammy are missing.
So why is Saka and what is the other guy who missed the penalty? Rashford. Why are they there?
Well, I mean, those were sort of like victims, right? Because
Oh, what?
because missing penalties is an age-old English tradition,
I see.
and I guess there was a lot of racist abuse afterwards, which is quite unfortunate. So
I
it would have
see.
been bad if they were not included.
Man, okay, let's discuss that squad a little.
Mhm.
Madison has finally he's broken the door and got his place for the England squad. It must be a vindication for him.
Yeah, he's having a great season, and I guess it was like he was playing a little too well for Garrett to ignore him. And with having like 26 spots in the squad, I'm sure there would have been much outrage if he was not included.
Man, that is okay. So let me just open this. Okay, so this is what Southgate said. I know people talk about being overly loyal, but you have to
Mhm.
have some kind of consistency in your thinking. Then others can come into that and thrive. Well, what did people ask about which player
No,
that
they
he
must have asked, why are you still persisting with Maguire and other players that he insists on playing? Like Calvin Phillips, who's barely played any football this season because, I mean, he can't get into that Man City team and he has injury woes as well. So, yeah, he could have taken some other, maybe younger, promising players to this
but
World Cup. But
you know what he said on Maguire? He's one of our
mm,
best centre backs.
I don't know which league is he watching, or maybe he's watching that 4 seasons ago when Maguire was in Leicester. Maybe he's watching that season on tape.
Oh man. But England squad, dude, I have to say, I mean, gone are the days when England used to cry about not having talent. This squad,
Mm-hmm.
look at the midfield: Bellingham, Foden, Mason
Yep.
Mount, Declan Rice, Madison.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have obviously Harry Kane, Sterling, Grealish, Saka, Callum
Yep.
Wilson. This is crazy.
Pretty competent squad because I mean we might bicker about a couple of players here and there, but this is a pretty good team to take to a tournament where you have to play 7 matches. And I think 4 years ago in Russia the squad was not this strong and there was some experience also missing. So Gareth sort of overachieved when you look at that team reaching the semifinals. But this time around, I don't think the English fans would accept a subpar performance from this team.
Oh, you mean nothing but a win? The cup has to come home.
No, not really. I mean, even the golden generation faced like good teams like Portugal and Brazil, and on your day you can lose. But if they lose playing like really defensive football, like they did to Croatia and Italy in the last 2 tournaments, then they'll surely be outraged because there's so much attacking talent there that he can throw on. If he plays a very cowardly style where he's sitting back and relying on simply his defense rather than
Yes,
trying to
that's
outscore the
exactly how he's
opponent, then
going to
then it's
play.
going to be a problem.
That's exactly how he's going to play, Yash. So I don't know what are you
Mhm.
talking about, but whatever.
No, but it's a good thing if he does that and he fails. It'll be good riddance for England. I mean, they
Yes,
deserve a better
and
manager.
Harry Redknapp or Ian Holloway, such marquee names, they can come and manage England after that. Okay,
Right.
so let's come back to club football a little because on 7th, 3 days ago, there was the Champions League draw.
Mm-hmm.
The standout fixture of this draw, is it Liverpool versus Real Madrid or Paris versus Bayern?
It's hard to pick, but since last season's final was between Liverpool and Real Madrid, I think that is a standout fixture because, of course, one of them is a Premier League giant and the other is absolute European royalty. So, yeah, that is the standout fixture. And there is, I think, 3 times revenge pending from Liverpool to overcome Real Madrid. There are two finals and I think one quarter final in very recent time when Klopp has been the manager.
Poor Salah, man. I mean, at what point will he be able to take revenge?
I think he's been awfully quiet, and which is a good thing. I don't think this Real Madrid team have really got into the stride. Maybe they will by the time March arrives. And if you've been seeing the La Liga matches without Benzema, they seem to be struggling to score goals. So there are chinks in the armor, despite them being the defending champions. So,
but why is Benzema?
Yeah, so I think Liverpool should be quietly confident about this.
Why is Benzema not playing for Real Madrid? Is he injured or something?
No, it's a fake injury to make sure he plays in the World Cup.
Oh, it's not like how Messi has got it written in his contract that from November 7th, he need not play for the club and he can just like be ready for Argentina.
I don't think Benzema can mess around with a traditional giant like Real Madrid. With Paris, you can probably get anything done if you're a superstar like Messi.
Okay, so Paris, PSG versus Bayern. How dependent is PSG's performance in this fixture? How dependent is it on Brazil and Argentina's performance in the World Cup? Like, if they do well, this fixture no one gives a shit about. If they don't do well, then this will become very important for them.
Yeah, man. I mean, if Brazil win, I'm sure Neymar will be partying. And I think his birthday or his sister's birthday comes around that time. So
he'll buy out his own contract.
Yeah. There is sort of heavy dependence. Jokes apart, I think it will be like a final achievement for either Neymar and Messi, right? Because the World Cup is the only thing missing from the trophy cabinet. So, I mean, whoever wins it will sort of take it easy. And if Messi does not win it, I think this is the last time he'll play in the World Cup. So it will be sort of an end of an era either ways.
Okay.
On the other hand, the Bayern team is a bunch of youngsters, I think, apart from Müller. So they'll be raring to go.
Did Neymar win the Copa America?
Yeah, of course.
Or we think he did.
2019 Copa America, they won.
I see.
Richarlison was like an important player for Brazil.
Wow. How the turntables. All right. Let's look at other fixtures. Milan played Tottenham.
I don't think this Milan team is all that great. I think
Tottenham but I don't think this Tottenham team is also all that great. So,
be that as it may, I think Conte facing another Italian team, I think he may have Milan's number. I don't think Tottenham will go very far in the tournament, but they might scrape through this round. I wouldn't say they're lucky with the draw, but it could have been much worse.
Then we have Leipzig versus Manchester City.
I mean, at this stage, I'd say
it's a tough fixture for City because they've gotten easier ones.
Yeah, they've got so many easier ones that this seems like a decent fixture for them.
Wow.
By decent, I mean decently tough.
Yes. Okay. And let's see, what are the other games? Jeez. Club Brugge versus Benfica. Why do I have a feeling that's going to be the match of the round of 16?
Because both teams are brilliant in the group stages from whatever highlights we saw. And these two teams absolutely deserve to be there. It's not like they got very easy groups or anything. So, and they play, they seem to play decent attacking football. So I think this will be a fun fixture. Usually the round of 16 throws up one of these duds where, that neither team are going to win this, and the teams are basically just fighting for a spot in the quarterfinals, which will be like a crowning achievement for whichever Dutch or Portuguese team.
No, but
I know that Bruges is Belgian. I know that, but so this might be a fun game.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that they will probably, even if they get to quarters, they won't be that easy to beat. Then there is Inter, Porto, Dortmund, Chelsea. It's going. The Tuchel derby is here, and oh god! And then there's Frankfurt versus Napoli. Enough of this crap. Let's talk about the real tournament, the
league
tournament. What? No.
Oh, you're talking about
the real European tournament, Europa. We have Barcelona versus Manchester United. Yes.
I mean, that is going to happen, right? Nobody really cares that much about this extra round of 16. So I'm fully going with the conspiracy theory that there were hot balls that picked out this tie.
Come on. It's an easy fixture for Manchester United.
The only way it's an easy fixture for Manchester United is if Barca haven't already won the league by February. If Real Madrid are giving them a tough time in the league, they might sacrifice this tournament, because it's not prestigious enough for Barcelona. So yeah,
right.
That's the only way it will be easy. Otherwise, I don't know, man. I mean, they have a bunch of individuals who are playing well, like Rafinha and Dembele and Gavi Pedri and all that.
I don't know, man.
And of course, Lewandowski against this defense, I'm not so sure because Lisandro Martinez is missing the first tie due to suspension, first leg.
That way. Okay. There's Juventus versus Nantes. What the fuck? Why? What is happening? Why is Juventus playing Nantes?
Yeah, because they are a fallen giant, and this is the fun part of Europa, right? You play all these games.
Then there's Roma versus RB Salzburg. Whoa, that's going to be decent. Ajax versus the Bundesliga leaders Union Berlin.
Oh, they have fallen down finally. Bayern have taken over. Yeah, Bayern have taken over.
When did this happen? Didn't you just say last week that Union Berlin? We just spoke about it. And
maybe, but I checked like right just before the podcast, and Bayern have taken the lead.
Oh shit! Yeah, they're 4 points behind because Union Berlin for 2 consecutive matches lost and drew. Oh, done, over. That league is done.
That league is done.
Okay, all right. Let's take a break right now. After the break, let's talk about this EFL Cup. Let's muster the courage, and for one final time this calendar year, let's see what matches we're going to watch on the weekend. So stay tuned to Football Twaddle. All right, welcome back to Football Twaddle. Yash, before we get to EFL Cup, who has been your player of the week?
I think it has to be Mo Salah, who's back to his best. And
oh, come on. Oh, God, you're such a, you're like those fans. A goal mar diya, he's back to his best.
So he scored a couple of goals in an important match for them. It's important for Liverpool to take points of teams like Tottenham if they're going to finish in the top 4. This was a consequential game, season point of view.
You know who is my player of the week? Leon Bailey.
Oh, man. It's Emery and Good Evening have come back to haunt Manchester United.
Dude, I mean, let's talk a little about that game. Aston Villa, I have not seen them play like that ever because we believe only in superlatives, right? I don't think Aston Villa have played better football than that day ever.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
what's with Emery having Manchester United's number? That's such a weird thing. Irrespective of the manager, Emery comes top.
Yeah, it's some sort of a voodoo that United have to get over, I guess, because I think he's here to stay. I think he's too good for Aston Villa, man. I mean, he's a pretty decent manager. Could be at a much better, bigger club.
Yeah, but why did he? So there must be a reason why he went to Aston Villa, no?
He was at Villarreal. Villarreal is like a very small city in rural Spain where
he was playing.
I guess Birmingham is a much bigger city, and the Premier League gives you a lot of exposure. So
you think
Aston Villa have a lot of money. I'm sure they're giving him a hefty raise as well.
You think he wants to replace Mikel Arteta at the Arsenal?
No, I think he's already done that. So
all right. Okay.
I mean, we don't know what his next step will be. Maybe I don't know, man. I don't know. I seriously don't know where he's going and why he took this job apart from the obvious reasons that I've mentioned before.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't watch this game, but Chelsea versus Arsenal, right? And who is this guy who scored the goal? Who is this Mogadishu? Like, kaun hai? Who is this guy?
Gabriel, man. That's his last name. Gabriel Magalhaes.
Like, so it's
the defender Gabriel, the centre back.
Man, but this Arsenal, they're just not losing.
I guess the World Cup has come around at the wrong time for them because they're just raking up the points by hook or crook.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, this is such vindication for Arteta as we speak because after the brickbats and abuses he's taken over the last 2 years or 3 years, you somehow put
the process is paying off, and a lot of people have seen the Arsenal documentary All or Nothing for comedic reasons. But what comes across is that the owner's son, Josh Kroenke, is really involved with Arsenal, and he said a very important thing that although we have owned this club for a while, like we have had proper control only after we pushed out Usmanov like 4 years ago, and since then there's been working with a plan.
Yeah, sure.
Which is
just because you won, okay, he said it last year and he has to say such things, but come on, what was the plan?
No, but look at it this way, right? Since they have pushed out Usmanov almost every transfer window, we come up with this joke that Arsenal have won the transfer window. But I mean, there's no smoke without fire. They have bought decently. They have I mean, the most of their signings have worked out well for them. Even Partey, who was a big failure in his first window, has worked out well for them. And it's not like they're fluking all these wins, right? Maybe Arteta had to learn a lot on the job, which is why he finished eighth a couple of times and he failed to get into the Champions League. But fine, maybe, credit where it's due. They didn't sack him and now they're in this position.
Yeah, I mean, that you have to give credit to them. It's so easy. He's such a trigger happy world. They stuck with him and they're like, chalo, yeah, we believe in you, like whatever. But I wonder how was Usmanov stopping them from doing the transfers? I never understood that.
Yeah, even I don't know the details of it, but we know for a fact that there was some tussle between the two ownership groups over there, right?
Wow.
So maybe he had some influence when it came to signings or whatever. Apart from that, I mean, Wenger must have had a lot of control over there, which Arteta clearly does not. So I don't know, man. Maybe, I mean, of course, Josh would want to take a lot of credit for the success there and want to present, a very positive side towards the ownership. But whatever happened seems to be working. I mean, Arsenal seems to be much more coherent than what it was for almost a decade.
I mean, yeah, you have to give credit where it's due, and clearly Arteta is doing well. Now shift back. Did you watch? Having said all of that, did you watch the EFL Cup?
No, it's a little too late. I've been just watching highlights.
Okay, I was just going through the scores, right?
Oh, by the way, Jesse Lingard finally scored since you've been asking so often. And he scored against a team that you would want him to score against.
Brentford.
No. He scored against Tottenham in the EFL Cup.
In the EFL Cup, okay. Man. Who all scored? Look at this. Jesse Lingard, one of my favorites. And Atletico Madrid ex-player Renan Lodi. They score. And just to make it a little tough for themselves, they get a guy called sent off also in the 75th minute. But Nottingham Forest beat Tottenham 2-0. And Arsenal lose to Brighton 3-1. Liverpool scrape and just beat Derby. Man City beat Chelsea. West Ham lose to Blackburn Rovers 9-10 on the penalty shootout. Dude, there have been only penalty shootouts in this award. Southampton beat Sheffield in penalty shootout. Brentford lost in penalty shootout. Newcastle won in penalty shootout. What is this? Like, did they even take this tournament seriously or they just waited for penalty shootouts?
Maybe they're all giving... Maybe this was like a conspiracy by all the players who are going to the World Cup to, practice penalty shootouts in tough situations. Because I feel there are going to be a bunch of penalty shootouts in this world.
Wow. Let me check. Did Saka miss a penalty in this?
No. Arsenal got beaten.
Oh, in regulation.
In normal time.
All right. Okay. Before we speak about what fixtures we're going to watch this weekend, what's happening in Qatar? What's with the negative press? Is it just that they don't have a good PR agency or like what is happening?
No, I mean, we know for a fact that Qatar doesn't have the best of
human rights.
A human rights record, right? So, I mean, all of these are coming, stories are coming out because now the World Cup is nearby and there's a lot of focus on it. And I think all the outrage is rightly so. I don't think the World Cup is going to get cancelled or should get cancelled because of, what's happening there. I don't know how those responsible are going to be held to accountability, or I'm sure the people at the very top can easily throw someone under the bus, some contractor or something to penalize them rather than, taking the actual responsibility.
Forget that. There's that and there's this LGBTQ. In 2018, Russia obviously was getting enough bad press. Right. Putin basically told all the gangs in Russia to pipe down during World Cup time.
Right.
And just not do anything. And they just let people be for like a month and a half. And then they did whatever they had to. Like, it's not very hard, even if you're an authoritarian regime to just...
Russia can do that. Qatar is a very small country and it doesn't even have gangs.
Yeah,
it's just the police that the state will has to order to not be.
Yeah, it's like, why?
It's very easy.
Hire a good PR agency and then just ask everyone to just shut up. You don't need Qatari officials to reply saying that, yes, I'm very happy these gays are not allowed. Like, what the man? Just why can't you just shut your mouth?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just overzealous bureaucrats trying to prove that they are doing the right thing.
They want the king's
to a different audience.
They want the king's favors.
Yeah, and their audience is completely different, right? Their audience is Gulf and Middle Eastern people who are that is not the most progressive part of the world for LGBTQ rights. So yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope they just pipe down on it. There's a decent World Cup
Mhm.
that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this. The games you are going to watch this weekend. Let me start off. I'm going to watch Newcastle versus Chelsea.
That's a big.
Will our
That's a
club
big one. It's a top four clash.
yeah, sure. Top four clash. But will our club, if they ensure a draw or win, we will remain in top four
I
before the
think
World.
psychologically it will be very important, right? I mean, whether Newcastle finish in the top four or not, it'll be a statement for sure.
Correct. But I have a feeling Chelsea will probably draw this game or something. So I'm predicting a 1-1 for Newcastle versus Chelsea. And it's right before the World Cup. No one wants to get injured. I don't know. Do you think people are just not going to go for tackles and all that bull crap now?
No, man. I think Premier League is important enough. The stakes are high enough, and there are enough countries that are not going to the World Cup where players know that the next month off. So
I
I think
see.
those players will really try hard.
Okay. What are you watching, Yash?
I will watch Fulham versus Manchester United
Oh, I know. Let
because Raven
all
Cottage.
all Mitrovic fans, let us unite and celebrate this great man and his achievements in the world of
Is he
football.
fit? Is he fit for the weekend?
He must be, no? Let me just Google this. Must not be very hard. Let me find out. Alexander Mitrovic. A big injury doubt for Fulham clash with Manchester United.
Ah, darn. But yeah, Fulham played really well against City on the weekend. I mean, they eventually ended up losing to a last minute penalty. So,
Oh,
and
yes.
Craven
I
Cottage
want to
is
talk about it. Was that actually a penalty?
whatever. I mean, he did kick his leg. The fall was definitely dramatic, but I don't have complaints against
Of
it,
course.
despite wanting City to
As a
lose.
modicum of neutrality, if you don't have complaints against it, yes, I will let it go. All
Yeah.
right. On that note, we are
All right.
done. I think from next week, we are not going to talk about this club football. I have a
Yes.
schedule in mind, which we will discuss offline. And from next week onwards, till December, some end of December, it's all World Cup. All
Yes.
right. Yes. Take care, man. Bye bye.
Bye bye.